We got the green light. We got the green light. Let's do this. Let's do this. That guy didn't have a signal on. That guy does. Woo. Watching for traffic all around me. Yeah, bike blogger here. On my way, not really to work. Just a little short video today. Topic of the day: injuries. We've all been there. I've been there multiple times. Let's talk about getting injured. What do you do when you're in recovery? Which is a long period of time sometimes, for depending on the type of injury. It's a lot of different ways to recover from an injury, but let's probably begin with, like, how do you get injured in the first place? And we're talking about in the context of fitness or riding a bike. Overuse, that's probably one of the #1 causes for injury. Also technique, like your cycling form. Maybe you ride a single speed bike like me, and you just like mashing it and you end up hurting your knees. That's actually a myth, but a little bit of satire there. Overuse, though, is one of the primary things that seems to set me back, besides, of course, accidents, like you fall down and you hurt yourself. So you're in the recovery phase. What do you do? Tip of the day, what do you do? Well, you got physical therapy, you got strength training, and gradually working your way back up to what you was doing. And my advice as a non-medical doctor is, as soon as possible, gradually start working your way back up to your normal routine, because you don't want to be injuring yourself once you feel like 100%, you feel great, that then you just jump straight back into your routine at 100% capacity. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're getting the overuse problem, and then you're gonna repeat your problem. So it's more of a, what I'm getting at is, it's more of a psychological thing. If you're still kind of injured, but you're feeling pretty good, you know, you could do like a short walk or a short bike ride or something. I say go for it. Obviously don't overdo it, but your pain will let you know when you're doing too much. Well, this guy just pulled straight out in front of me. Where's that? Where's that? Let's just go down the alleyway, I guess. So he came out of the alleyway. Woo. It's like a cross street here. What is the deal with this? Oh, the alleyway goes to the left there. That's interesting. It's a T intersection alley there, even though this is a little tiny neighborhood. Anyway, yeah, so don't get ahead of yourself. You're gonna want to get ahead of yourself. I know, I've been there. I've also had, you know, the worst thoughts go through your mind, like, oh no, I'll never ride a bike again, you know, if you're like get really injured or you're hospitalized. But many people do recover, mostly 100%, so we should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it so much. This is a one-way street, so we're gonna take the sidewalk. Do as I say, not as I do. Let's go down this alleyway here, why don't we? We're just kind of screwing around a little bit here. Just riding around, just rapping, just freestyling, thinking about, you know, it's okay. We've all been there. If you were recently injured, you'll get better. Try not to worry about it too much. Yeah, it is like a lot of things. Time heals all wounds, so you'll get back at it. Just look at me. I mean, I've been through all sorts of different injuries and things in the past, and I'm still here, you know, still doing it. Still pretty much 100% of what I was before. It just takes time. So you'll get there. And that's about all I have for this video. So we'll just keep riding our bike. And if you want to keep watching, cool. What else should I talk about? I don't know. What else should I talk about? Right now I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm in a residential neighborhood area, the South City area, the area of United States. Kind of interesting. Saw a story today. It's what is it? Wednesday, September. I'm done with summer. I'm done with summer. No, so it's July 13, Wednesday the 13th, 2022. And I saw an article that said for the first time in 20 years, the US dollar is equal to the European euro currency. So if you have some favorite foreign, if you live in the United States, you have some favorite bicycle websites that sell stuff based on euros, even though inflation's at like an all-time 40-year high in the United States, you might be able to get a discount on some bicycle parts. So just a fair warning or fair interest for some people. I've always found a lot of the European websites to be kind of expensive, mainly because of shipping and other related costs to just time of delivery and all that sort of stuff. But being an avid cyclist in the United States, you get a lot of access to a lot of things, but there is also a lot of other stuff in Europe that you kind of just have to have shipped over here, unfortunately. But your local bike shop can hook you up. It's just, you know, you tend to have a little bit more of a variety if you can access things via foreign bicycle shops. Let's make a left here. Let's go up this hill. Let's go up this hill. Woo. This is a little neighborhood near my home that has a lot of hills. They're just short, moderate, mild to moderate steepness of hills. So a little good exercise. Woo. Sun is kind of low right now, so it's a little dangerous. I talked about this before. Don't want to be riding into a low sun like to the west here. Big blind spot, or a big annoying sun in your face. So a person in an loud bus, my dog. Person in an automobile, they're gonna put down their sun visor. They're still should be able to see the road pretty much in front of them, the stuff they need to see. They don't need to see the sky, but their visibility is gonna be down. So what you can do is you could use a, let's just go straight. You could use a really bright bike light that flashes or something, but it's gonna have to be very bright to make you noticeable when you know, for that 15 minutes or so. It's not very long. For that short period of time where the sun is very low and shining directly into people's eyes on the horizon of the road. Let's make a left here. Whew. Actually, let's go straight, because that guy's going right. And no reason not to just go this way. I don't really have a destination right now. This road is just very bumpy. It's a shame because they got these nice looking condos or whatever they are, apartments. They just built around here, but the city's kind of strapped for cash, so the roads are just really horrible. Up the hill, up the hill, up the hill. Whew. I don't like splitting the lane. This lane is extremely wide, so I can move safely over outside of the gutter to the right and still get myself 3 feet clearance on both sides of my bike, which is what I want. So I just have room to maneuver in case I have to avoid something or something happens suddenly and I need to swerve. And gives me a millisecond fraction of reaction time more, which is really desirable because every millisecond counts. Every millisecond counts. Heading up near a freeway interstate highway system here. Probably gonna get a little bit more louder. We got the green light. We got the green light. Let's do this. Let's do this. That guy didn't have a signal on. That guy does. Woo. Watching for traffic all around me. Even cross traffic. Okay. make a right here. There's no traffic around, y'all. Woo. Little bike lane. Designated space of the road for a cyclist. That's what I like about bike lanes, is they're a designated space for a cyclist, so it makes you think that the transportation department of wherever the city is at least thinking about other modes of transportation, even if it is just paint on the road. That's something. It's a start. It's not really infrastructure, but it is planning. They are planning for other modes of transportation. What is this? It's like just a bunch of trash in the road there. I don't know what that was about. Man, that was kind of sad. Earlier, I didn't get it on video, but I saw a guy, he chucked a... I mean, you see people litter all the time, although I don't see it so much since, you know, when I was a little kid, back in the 80s, saw it more often, but not so much now, people littering. But this guy, he just chucked like a, I think it was a banana peel out of his pickup truck. Thumbs up for eating bananas. Those are great for you. But it's decomposable, not a big deal. Throwing out waste like that, it's just unsightly, especially when you throw it into a median of a road where they got all the pretty flowers and everything on a boulevard. It's kind of like, oh great, so now you got a banana peel sitting there rotting and attracting all sorts of bugs, although bugs are everywhere. I guess shouldn't complain about that. Just kind of disrespectful. Woo. So you see, I'm kind of torn about it, because I want to promote healthy eating, healthy living. Eating a banana is not the worst thing in the world. All right. So I don't, at least I didn't chuck out the whole banana. I'm not waiting for that light. Let's just go this way. Let's go this way. All right. Paraquad. This big old empty parking lot to the left. I'm gonna go over this way. Where does this go? Is this a road? I don't think I've ever been down this road. Let's go down this road. What's this road called? Berthold? I didn't see it real quick here. I recognize the name. Berthold, I don't know. Thold. This might just dead end down here. So I feel like I'm gonna be going all the way down the hill, and then I'm gonna hit a gate or something, and I have to turn around. That's okay. Orthwin Center. I don't know what that is. At first I said orthopedic when I was looking at it real closely. This is actually the behind area of St. Louis Science Center, kinda. Man, why are these gates so tall? They have problems with people jumping the gate? That's strange. That's kind of strange. They got a key card or a keypad access to those gates. Strange. Very interesting. And that is the parking lot for that Science Center building. I don't know what you would be stealing in there. I guess I've read stories about people getting their cars broken into. Like, you know, you park outside a hospital in the middle of the night. And there was like, I think there was like 40 cars that were broken into in the middle of the night at one hospital recently around where I live. That's kind of crazy. I know they say in areas where you expect car break-ins, don't even lock your doors. You know, don't leave anything out in open sight. Just let them rifle through your business. And maybe they won't smash your window. That's just a big maybe though. It's kind of luck of the draw there. All right. Okay, so that was a big spin around for just avoiding that intersection there, so I didn't have to hit the light. There's a cyclist over there to the left. Got a nice bright shirt on. That's a good recommendation for that. Not sure how much that helps when the sun is low though, because the sun is bright. If you're bright, there's an argument for you want darker clothing so you have more of a silhouette against the sun. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. You can only do so much. That's why if you can avoid it, like when I say before, I've said many times before, if you can avoid riding in the most extreme 15-minute portion of a large thunderstorm, hailstorm, whatever, just wait the 15 minutes. Same thing with the sun. If the sun is very low, give it 15 minutes. It'll get a little lower or a little higher, either way. In the morning, higher, but and then it won't be as dangerous with the visibility situation. So yeah, injuries. What I found that helps is don't overuse your muscles, whatever. Don't overdo it. This guy, will wait for him. He's kind of rolling through that stop. Okay. Do some light stretching before you do any kind of exercising. You can do some bigger stretching afterward. One thing I like are the foam rollers. You can roll out your legs on them. Feels kind of nice. It's just basically kind of like a tubular pillow, and you just roll your leg on it. Feels pretty nice for like your calf muscles. I'm a typical or a stereotypical cyclist. I got kind of the cycling tan going on my arms and legs, and then I got like not abnormous calf muscles, but I got pretty big calf muscles in proportion to my body because I do a lot of cycling on a single speed bike. Woo! Because I like it. I like it. That's my personal preference. Most people don't not prefer single speed bikes. I really do like the multi-speed bikes, because especially when you're starting from a stop, because it's not as much as like you're pushing through the pain, so to speak. But once you get up in the speed, then it's kind of like I only need one speed. If I want to go faster, I'll stand up, push down harder. And that's kind of it for me. To each his own. The having multiple gears is just, it just opens up so many more opportunities for fitness though. Like you can get a higher cadence going, and you can have more control over your workout, especially if, that's kind of what you're aiming for on a bike, is getting a good workout. You can have more of a consistent workout, because on a single speed bike, you're kind of really limited there. And you can have a consistently, power, cadence, rhythm of your pedal stroke, everything, if you're on a flat surface. Or a surface gradient that isn't changing. If you live in a very flat area. But if you have any sort of hills or whatever, that's going to keep screwing up your cadence. So, especially if cadence that is by the revolutions per minute, how fast you're spinning your legs on your bike. If you want to have a consistent spinning of your legs, then a single speed bike is absolutely not for you, because you're gonna have a lot of problems with that. You can kind of keep a consistent cadence on a single speed bike, but you gotta really put in a lot more power for a lot more effort to keep that cadence up if you're going like up a hill, obviously, because you're pushing through a hard gear. Whereas when you're going downhill, obviously you're spinning real fast, trying to prevent the coaster, the freewheel from kicking in. Yeah. So I got a pretty loud freewheel, so you can always tell. Let's go this way. You can always tell when I'm not pedaling forward, because you hear a little buzz from my bike, like right now. Buzz. I like that buzzing sound though. I have White Industries, I think it's a Trials freewheel. Might be 18 tooth or something. It's the green freewheel, that's how I remember it. It's got a green color to it. It's got a nice sound. The what are the other popular free hubs. A free hub. Chris King free hubs are very popular with people who like loud free hubs. I of course have another bike that has an Onyx free hub, which is silent, so I can freewheel without any noise at all. That's great for sneaking up on people and ticking them off, scaring dogs and little kids and stuff. But it's kind of a different experience. After a while, you don't even notice it though. I mean, in terms of whether your bike's making a noise or not when you're freewheeling, you just kind of tune it out with everything else. But it is kind of cool, especially initially when you get on the bike. It's like, wow, this thing's so quiet. Unless you have a lot of bike noises, then then it's just really annoying because you're constantly hearing little creaks and everything. Surprisingly, I don't think I've been hearing a lot of creaks and clicks with my bike here. In recent weeks, at least, it seems like. I probably do need to, you know, kind of tear it down a little bit and give it a nice clean. But then, of course, there's a risk there that I'm not going to clean something perfectly or tighten something up perfectly right, and then it's going to be creaking until I figure out where the noise is coming. And it's kind of like one of those things where set it, forget it, don't mess with it unless it becomes a problem sort of deal. That's the way I try to treat my poor bike, some side bike. I'd be better, I'd be nicer to you. Let's go left. Woo! Look at that crazy looking building. Looks like a magazine rack, or multiple magazine racks. I don't know if you see that there over the upper right of the video frame. Now we're just going under a bunch of trees, but I also think it kind of looks like popcorn cups, like in a movie theater, just stacked on top of each other. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Did see a news story about someone, I think in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They're selling a house that looks kind of like the Jetsons house from the 60s, that old cartoon. I don't know if anyone's, I think that might be Hanna-Barbera or whatever cartoon, like the Flintstones. People with insane amounts of money building their dream home based on a cartoon. I think it was some German immigrant guy or businessman or something too. That's what the story said, at least. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, man. Woo! Just feels wonderful right now. Yeah, I'm just totally freestyling, just kind of storytelling here. Just kind of rambling on my bike. So I don't have a lot else to say. Let's make a left. But I enjoy you guys following along with me. I know some of you like the longer bike rides, so figure why not. If I'm still gonna think or chat to myself, I might as well put it up on the internet, right, and share it with everybody. Maybe they can follow along at home, indoors, where it's not so hot outside. Drink your water. Oh man, that is nice. Another thing to help preventing miscellaneous injuries: don't dehydrate yourself. Dehydration causes all sorts of problems. I'd also say make sure you're eating enough food too. That is very true. But unless you're kind of an endurance rider, you're riding, you know, more than an hour at a time, I wouldn't worry so much about the food deal. But I would worry about water. I don't really have a clear-cut recommendation on water because it depends on a lot of things, particularly obviously the heat, but also how much exertion you're doing on the bike. Try to remember to take a swig of water every 10-20 minutes. If it's hot outside, every few minutes I'd recommend just take a little swig of water, just a little swig of water. Give your body that fuel you need to just keep it going a little bit more. I know there's people who love riding their bike in a kind of desert environment like Death Valley, and I think Death Valley is completely within the state of California. But it's getting tough now. It is getting tough with the climate just being so dang hot. These summers, and these summers are getting longer too. You gotta be really careful out there. I haven't ever done any, let's go to the left here. I haven't done any desert cycling before. I think that would be interesting, although I kind of wonder if that'd be not difficult, particularly for all the dry heat, you know. Man, it felt kind of like, the humidity did kind of drop here around St. Louis a little bit, and it felt like a furnace, a dry heat. And this is not really a dry area, although we haven't been getting much rain. We're not in a drought, but anyway. I digress. I digress. Riding in the desert, jeez. Yeah, I'd worry about wind. Isn't it windy in the desert? Wouldn't you get like a whole bunch of debris and stuff flicked up in your face? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the time of the year. But I think just battling the wind would be tough in a desert sort of situation. I don't know. If anyone lives in like the American Southwest or other hot, dry, deserty climates, arid climates in the world, let us know in the comment section below. Is there anything that you think that is particularly, you know, you gotta watch out for when you're cycling in an environment like that? I live in a 4-season region of the world, so I see all 4 seasons, which is kind of cool. Kind of makes the passage of time less monotonous, because you get the snow occasionally, you get the really hot, humid days, you get the cool, breezy days, you get the leaves changing colors. There's definite benefit to that versus a cool, moderate climate, which I imagine is amazing for riding or cycling year-round, but it can still be done no matter what climate you're in, pretty much. Never been to Alaska. I don't know what it's like riding a bike in Alaska. Probably not so bad if you live near the ocean. So imagine the climate's kind of... That's one of the things. I was looking at state capitals, U.S. state capitals. We're just rambling here. The state capital of Missouri, where I live, is Jefferson City. And similar to the state capitals of South Dakota, Arkansas, and Alaska, Alaska being kind of a funny one, the only 4 out of the 50 state capitals in the United States that do not have an interstate highway going through the capital city. I found that very interesting, because I knew they didn't do that in Missouri, but I was a little surprised that there is pretty much every other state has it. Alaska obviously does not have that because they're not connected to the continental US. Hawaii has HI highways, which I think is just for people doing yoga or something over there, which I think is for you know, the abbreviation of Hawaii. But I don't know if they're interstate or they're federally funded highways or what the deal is there, because they're not really interstate because they're not connected. That was another interesting thing. It's just like you go down a rabbit hole of this stuff. Like if you go on Wikipedia or anything like that, or just Google Maps, it's like, oh, I was looking because I haven't been to Hawaii before. I'm not a very well-traveled person. Not a very well-traveled person. I kind of envy those who get to travel around the world. And again, the dollar to the euro isn't bad now. Not a bad time to take a trip to Europe if you live in the United States and you make US bucks. But anyway, I'm not sure if all the Hawaiian islands, I think there's 5 or 6 of them. I don't know if they're all connected via like a tunnel or a bridge or anything. So I found that interesting. It doesn't surprise me really, but yeah, I guess if you live in Hawaii, you're kind of stuck on whatever island you live on, unless you want to get on I guess a small plane, or I don't know if they have ferries from island to island. The islands are kind of not close together. They're not like Staten Island and Manhattan in New York City, I think. I think they're further apart than that. I don't know. Hawaii would be kind of a cool place to live, although I think it's pretty dang humid there. And they get some crazy weather. In the mountains, they get snow, and they get obviously whatever tropical or hurricane-like type weather they get. And of course have a volcano, at least on one of the islands. So a lot of interesting things there. Man, but Hawaii's expensive to live in. I mean, that's probably one of the most expensive US states to live in, I think, in the United States. And it's just, there's a friggin' hassle to get anything, because you're in an island in the middle of the ocean. And in terms of mail and just, I imagine bicycle parts and everything's probably really expensive. All right, let's, what are we doing now? Let's make a left here. Again, we're not gonna wait for the light. Let's just go this way. All right, I'm gonna bounce down here, I think, though, onto the street when I see it's perfectly clear, which is not now. Let's go this way. It's kind of busy right now, though, because it's rush hour. It's okay, it's all right. Feel my throat getting a little dry, waited a little too long, talking a lot, and it's hot outside. Drink that water. Actually running out of water a little bit. Okay, okay, it's okay. Whew. There were some cyclists behind me, but I think they're gone now. I don't know if they followed me or I just blew them off. I was too fast. I was just too fast for them. I'm not even working that hard. Let's go around this guy. Nice and easy. Whew. Up the hill. It's right now, I think it's 92 Fahrenheit. Add the humidity on top of that. Temperature, the heat index is about 97. Pretty warm, but I'm kind of learning to embrace it, even though I was thinking it was September like 20 minutes ago. Like I'm done with summer, because I flip-flop on this all the time. I don't know if I like summer more, or I dislike summer more, or I dislike winter more. They both have their pluses and minuses, but I do really enjoy not having to throw on as much clothing. I can just more quickly hop on a bike and ride in the summer, so that's the big benefit there. Whew. But of course, it's warmer, and if you're going sleeveless or without sleeves, more opportunity for sunburns, so having to throw on that suntan lotion. I was gonna drop down, but I kind of forgot about it. It's okay, it's okay. We'll just keep riding up the trail, yeah. Riding up the trail. Whew. Oh, it's nice in the shade, about 10 degrees cooler, it feels like. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I always feel like I have something going on, but right now things just seem to be clicking with me. It's like, I always feel like I have a to-do list, you know, like a ton of stuff on it, and I still do, but I kind of feel, you know, sometime you're just kind of blessed with that feeling of content, like, I'm just happy. You know, it's just, it's okay. Everything's not perfect, but hey, you know, it's okay right now. And right now I got that feeling. I wish the best to all the rest of you. Thanks for coming along with me on this bike ride today. We'll see you in the video next week, per usual. Thanks for watching the Bike Blogger channel. Woo!